Alright, 1974 Cadillac. Top. All right, I'm gonna show you how to pop the hood in this thing. Good, hit the latch. All right, you pick up the hood normally, no issues, okay? The back hinges won't let the hood down straight. So to put the hood down, you can't slam it like a normal car. You have to ease it down until you get these hood hinges fixed. What I mean is, if you bring it down, it doesn't come down straight. So if you would slam it, so you want to get it low, and then just watch your edges, okay? And because you didn't slam it, you got to go back. That'll push the hinges down. The hood stays down from there. But if you don't do that, you're going to end up with busted quarters. Alright, from there, run you through the airbags. Alright, 10 switch setup. First one's front, back, side, side, the whole car, up and down, each corner, and then dead. So always look, the way it sits in here, with the cord on the top, the first one's going to be the front, back, side, side, whole car. With that in mind, brings you to the tanks. 2 tanks. As you can see, this first one on the left is going to be your pounds for the bag, each bag. Those bags are rated at over 200 pounds a piece as far as PSI goes. You'll see once I turn the tanks on where we're at. They're rated at like 250. I usually keep it at 200 per corner. I'll show you how to adjust that. Second valve, or second meter here, is your pounds that the tank holds. A new tank, brand new, just filled, will only fill your about 2,000 PSI, so you'll be about up here. All right, both of these tanks are off right now. That's where they're at. All right, so to turn the tanks on, obviously, just turn it on. All right, this tank here is about 3/4 of a tank. Like I said, it goes to about 2,000. You're at about 1,400. All right, and this needle here, you're showing 200 pounds. If you were to turn this valve, you're going to see that go up. I wouldn't go over 200. I usually run a little bit less. And same thing on this one. When you open it, this one is more like 3/4 of a tank. Same thing. at 200. If someone gets back here, you bump this and it goes to 300-400. As soon as you hit that switch, it's going to blow that bag. So you got to watch. You got to watch what you're doing here. Always just leave it, you know, I run a little less than 200 or 200. Doesn't really matter. There's some extra mounts if you plan on mounting the tanks. There's 4 of those. All right, try to hit these so you can see. First one's front. Okay, you'll hear the air release, and it's just like a regular switch. It will get stuck if you leave it, so you just got to hit it slow. Here, I'll actually pan out so you can see. Go to the front.
Are you filming his work?
Yeah.
All right, this is about how the car sits at maxed out. Those bags have 8 inches of raise, and then lower. You'll notice when, you can't really tell, but you'll notice when you're driving the car that if you have the car maxed out, it's gonna ride rough because it's maxed out. It'd be like throwing a real tough spring in there. So if I get in it, if I raise it all the way up, what I'll do is I'll let it out a little bit, pretty much like normal ride height, and that's going to be your best ride. Or else the back, you could tell, you'll know when it's all the way up and you get in it, the back's going to be super bouncy, the front's going to ride weird. So just let a little bit out, but you got to watch. On the rear, or on the front, I mean, it will lay the frame. So if you're driving and someone hits that switch, or you want it low, you got to watch, because you will scrape the frame on the ground. But you'll just have to get used to it. Like I said, just slowly hit the switches till you get your right ride height. Same thing with the front. I put these little things on the front valves so it slows it down, because the front end was so heavy. It would slam it real fast. If you want to take those off, that's up to you. Those are on the valves. There's a set of valves for the front, set of valves for the back. .412s, those valves there run the back, and that line in the middle comes right from that tank, and then there's a line on the left and right that goes to each bag. That's set up the same exact in the front and in the back. The front main line goes from the big tank straight to that center valve, and then one to each corner. So that's that. Top, nothing really to the top. The only thing I would say is that with these tanks, every time you get in the car and out of the car, I always turn them off. No way nobody can steal them. And B, if there were ever to be if a line or a bag or something were to blow, if you're somewhere, you're not going to lose all your air. So me personally, I turn them off every single time. I don't drive it much, but when I do. Secondly, driver's side. Can't really see it. Driver's side in the corner here, there's a circuit breaker there. I put that on, that runs the switches. So if the button is depressed, if the bags are not working, it's down here in the corner. There's a button on it. I ran power to that, and that's what feeds the bags, the switch box. So it was like a secondary device that I used to, if the car was sitting, I would turn those off or in somewhere. It's a secondary security device. If the car's all the way down, it's laying frame, you can't get a jack under there, you can't get anything. The car's pretty much theft proof just from that. So what I would do is I would turn it off, hit that switch. I didn't use it often, but if I was in a sketchy place, I would hit that, and there's no way the bags won't work, so there's no way this car's getting stolen. It's got alarm remote start with the key fob. I had two of them originally. I don't know what I did with the second one. I'll look for it. And it's got some keys with it. The lock, unlock, and then the start. It'll turn over a couple times, but if the car's cold, like if you didn't start it for a couple days, it probably won't start. But if you're driving it out there normally and you go to start it, it'll start. Like I said, the hood hinges are probably one of the things, or getting it adjusted. It's up to you. No major damage. Scratches here and there. Underneath the windows has the bubbling like I reported before. But other than that, for being 1974, it's in good shape. Driver quality.